Welcome to another episode of What Day Is It? I am Shane Rigdon, owner and operator of Rigdon Ranch in Wisconsin. Host and co-host across the table from me, Aaron, Mr. Beefy, Big Beautiful. Per always, how are you today?
Yourself. Another day at work. You had off today though.
Not really. Not fucking really. It's baby season.
Yep.
I'm fucking tired, man. It's been a week from hell. That's for sure.
The baby skunks.
Yes. Yeah, we picked up our baby porcupines last Monday. Super cute. To our surprise, picked up some baby mink. That was pretty random.
Mm-hmm.
We got all 4 baby skunks in the house. As well as the other animals, and on and off, we got some raccoons in here too. Not to mention the house cats, and then, taking care of everything on the outside. This last weekend was World Camel Day. You and I and Jason ran the caravan. That went fucking great.
First one ever.
We're
Off
fucking
a hitch.
awesome. It was so good. Now, we didn't have a lot of bookings, but we sure did a lot of rides. We just kind of let people in and did rides for shits and giggles, and we had a couple bookings, so it was cool. But we also did a birthday party here on Saturday, which we don't normally do. That went pretty smooth, and, we let all the kids ride the caravan, and it was just a good time, and it was really cool. And let me tell you, them boys looked good working, man. Them camels look good in the pasture. I got some good looking boys, man.
Yeah,
Like,
Goofus got tired though, man. He was done.
It's hot. It was
warm.
It was an index of 100 degrees, man, and I mean, he's semi-retired as it is.
Yep.
I'm so proud of them boys. They look good out there.
It was a good warm up for the season though.
Absolutely. And that's a whole nother topic for the week right there. It was hot this weekend. I don't know what it looked like across the country, but it was in the high 90s here with an index of 105.
Upper Midwest just got wrecked this week.
And, people have to deal with that. Normal people have to deal with the heat, drink lots of water and stay inside if you can, go to work. Sucks if you work outside, yada, yada, yada. But, the average human doesn't think of what it is when you're a zookeeper. You just, them water bowls got to stay fresh for the most part. You got to make sure everybody gets it fresh right away in the morning. And especially some animals like the capybara that shit in their water, we try to clean it out a couple more times throughout the day and whatnot. And just, you got to keep a little bit of an extra eye on the animals, and thankfully, most of the animals we have are from places on the planet that are typically a lot hotter.
Yeah.
Or stay that hot on kind of an average.
Everybody was pretty chill here.
Everybody's pretty all right.
They don't have any penguins yet, so.
No. And I mean, there's African penguins, that's majority of what I see anyway.
Can you keep them outside though during the winter?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, actually, you know what? I don't know.
Well,
I guess I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. This is why we need a guy like Theo Vaughn be like, hey, can you Google that for us? Can African penguins do cold weather? Let's see what the Google machine says.
They're sometimes right.
Well, the AI thing up top says no, African penguins cannot thrive in cold weather or snow.
Yeah.
I don't trust the Google AI. African penguins, like the ones you can visit at Dallas Zoo, don't live in cold climates. This one says no. This one says no. I'm just
Let me go with no on this one.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna go with no.
You do have a walk-in freezer though.
We do have a walk-in freezer, or at least it's always a little colder in the barn too.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck were we talking about? Just the animals in general. Yeah, I did make.
Yeah, you need penguins.
Yeah, I wish I had penguin money and a spot for them. I did make the kookaburras stay in for the weekend. Apparently, those guys overheat pretty easily, which is strange because, again, they're from Australia.
One of the hottest places on Earth.
Yeah, for real. He's being a turd too.
It's the southern hemisphere, so it's a little different, right?
Right. I don't know. I never
It's
bet.
backward. They're upside down there.
One day I'll go and I'll let you know how goddamn hot it is, or hopefully you'll just go with me. We can go catch some wild or some feral camels in Australia for shits and giggles.
For some free camels.
That would be so fun, dude.
Right.
That'd be so goddamn fun. I ain't paying to ship them bastards over here. You know, it probably costs the same as buying them here.
I wish they would pay us to take them.
For real, wrangle them over. They're gonna come over with like these new types of like parasites and shit. But yeah, the heat's been a bitch, and it was pretty hot on that caravan, and whatever. We all survived. I'm still drinking lots of water. I had a bubbler today, so my body's kind of like racing. You know, my heart's about to pump out of my chest.
That's only like 70 milligrams too.
I know, and I don't drink that shit very often, and so
you don't drink? Yeah, you're a soda drinker, but you really don't drink any energy drinks ever.
No, and you know, usually when I'm drinking a caffeinated beverage, it's with Captain.
Yeah,
you know,
keep you up.
I know. If I'm normally drinking, you know, a normal soda, I'm just drinking a Sprite or a Crush or something, you know, non-caffeinated soda.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, how backwards is it, you know, drinking alcohol with caffeine? Like, that definitely seems like a no-no.
Well, but look at the old Four Locos.
I never had an old one. I didn't have a Four Loko till I was probably 20.
And they're already broken by then.
22, 23.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I didn't even drink one. I took like a sip of it, and I was like, this is fucking gross.
Oh, it's horrible.
Like, ew.
But you get you drunk.
I bet, man.
It's a shitty drunk.
I was trying to be the fifth loco. Like, but yeah, my house stinks, and there's flies everywhere. At least the mink use a litter box. And the porcupines relatively aren't that dirty, but they pee a lot. The pit fucking reeks, man.
And oh my God.
It fucking reeks, man. And the baby skunks, when they do, it smells like a skunk in this fucking house. And there's 4 of them, you know. It's baby season for you. Yeah. And I mean, I'm only really raising 4. All the others are on hard food, but they're just in the house because they're so young yet. And there's a mosquito flying across the table.
Sorry, everybody. Had to get it.
We'll let Fluffy go for that noise right there. And it's been a hell of a week, and I was trying to build the mink enclosure outside this morning, and I was out there shirtless. It was hot as shit, and then I started getting stormed on, and I was still kind of out there working underneath the roof. And
see, I didn't get no rain in my house.
Dude, it came down heavy here.
Yeah.
Heavy. And
at work it did too.
And it went away, and it came back, and man, week starting out rough. And then I went to go meet that lady for them kennels, and she wasn't even there, and she still ain't emailing me back. So I stopped at Pick and Save anyway and got some taco stuff, and now I wait for tacos. And when we're done, guess what I'm gonna have to do? Go bottle feed the skunk.
Oh yeah, you got 4 of them to feed.
They're eating 4 times a day, and it takes me an hour to get through them all.
Hour?
You gotta go slow with that milk when you don't want to aspirate them.
Yeah.
And
because you're pushing it, right? You're
it's with the syringe.
You're not. So you're bottle feeding him, but not really bottle.
It's not a real bottle, you know. It's pain in the butt. It's cute and it's fun, but I wish it didn't take so long. But you got to be careful with those little guys. And you're supposed to, you know, it says every like 4 feeding or every feeding, you're supposed to get them between 8 to 10 mils. And honestly, I get them like 6 or 7. They really refusing at 6.
Yeah.
And you can feel their tummies are already pretty bloated with milk at that point. And it's like, I don't want to overfeed you. And I was talking to Eric, you know, he's been rehabbing his whole life, and he said that's kind of a suggestion. Just make sure they feel full. And I was like, that's valid, you know, like you don't want them to fucking pop. And this last feeding, they didn't potty as much, but I think honestly they're peeing and pooping themselves. I see a lot of it in the cage, which is definitely the benefit of the white towels.
Yeah.
But I got a red one in there now because my white one was so goddamn.
Oh man, I got a bunch of white rags I can give you for them.
Right,
from Sam.
Towels.
Well, they're like that big. It's like a bigger rag.
Fuck yeah, bring them over, dude.
Because I bought them from Sam's Club, man. And yeah, that's what I use for wiping Leo's feet off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I can see how dirty the rag is.
Exactly. I don't know what happened to all my animal towels.
Well, next time Maggie stops at I'll have her pick you up. You hear that, honey? Shane needs towel or rags.
Absolutely, animal towels.
And probably somewhere a paper towel by then too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I still got quite a bit.
Do you?
I had one get rained on outside because I'm a fucking idiot. Though I
Gotta build a little house for it, man.
well, they go in. I know, yeah. But I noticed if I put them away in the shed for a couple of days, they kind of dry out. It's kind of ghetto, but you know, it's paper towel.
It's just rainwater.
But that's kind of been the last week, just bottle feeding critters, and
But a pretty busy week for you.
it's been stupid. You
With
know,
the birthday party and all that. Like it's a pretty busy weekend. We didn't have any jobs on the road, right? So
outside
it
of
felt like it though.
man, it was dumb. Outside of doing normal tours too, but you know, we're making a little money. You know, I'm putting a little bit onto debt. I should probably pay my electric bill.
Just paid mine.
It's down to $200, which is way better than $800 through the winter.
Mm-hmm.
That feels fucking good.
But that's mostly gas you're paying through the winter, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like $700 in gas and $100-200 in electric. But it's all for the barn. We got to keep the animals warm. You know, I like the house is.
And it's a new heater too, right?
Yeah, but look, there's probably no insulation in that barn.
There was,
you know, and then the bottom half of it's mostly brick, and
yeah,
I guarantee you, there's no insulation left in this fucking 1800s house.
No,
you know, like it's.
I'm already getting warm after we cut that AC off.
I know. Yeah, if we start sweating super bad on camera, sorry guys.
It's a little warm in here. We're doing this for the people, though.
It's still pretty hot out. I mean, it's 80 something today, which. It says 79 right now, which is what has been. But tomorrow, I guess we're supposed to be back in the 70s, which I'm totally cool with.
Thank God.
But yeah, that's been a little bit out of the week. I feel woozy right now. I think that bubbler really fucked me up.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you ate something too? Exactly.
I had an Uncrustable today, and did I make breakfast?
No, because you didn't have syrup.
Oh, that was yesterday. I still ate my dry pancakes. I feel like I ate something today. Maybe I didn't eat
those breakfast sandwiches I brought you from the weekend?
Still in there. Probably throw them out.
Still fine. They have so much.
Like 3 days.
So 7 days for leftovers. Just heat them up to 165.
Who the fuck says that? It's 3 or 4.
Look it up. Google it. Especially like quick trip food. That's like McDonald's food. It's good forever.
How long are leftovers good for? Google AI says 3 to 4 days.
AI, but what were you just saying about AI?
USDA food safety leftovers can be kept in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days.
Oh.
It's from the USDA, who we hate, but
lies.
You're a sick bastard.
I don't go over 7 though. Like, all right, you open your lunch meat and throw it out because that's technically leftover now. Fuck. Really, you get 7 days. It says that on the package.
Whatever.
Just saying.
I don't know. If I don't eat it within a week, I typically toss it, which is why I don't buy lunch meat too often, you know?
Yeah, after a week, I toss it. Because I've had nasty chicken or turkey, like gooey turkey before. I didn't know any better.
But in some lighter news, other than me hating myself, there's a tortoise at the Miami Zoo named Goliath. He is 517 pounds. He's a Galapagos tortoise, you know, the largest living tortoise species. And
big boys.
He just celebrated his 135th birthday. So I thought I would mention that because that's kind of neat. Those guys, they'll live upwards of 200 years.
Crazy.
It's actually said that Steve Irwin owned the same Galapagos tortoise as Charles Darwin.
That's wild.
I don't know the truth of that matter.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but
absolutely. And it's a crazy generational gap. Like, how fucking cool would that be, you know? Just super, super wicked. And then there's one or two other topics I wanted to bring up. This one's kind of sad. Not a person that I knew. There's this woman that passed away named Michaela Raines. This was, at least I saw, I guess it went public yesterday. Michaela Raines, she passed away via suicide. She was most known for Save a Fox. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because my Facebook timeline went wicked. Absolutely just blew up over this woman. I guess there was quite a few people on my Facebook that knew this woman. You know, I mean, the animal community it can be pretty small or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess she was a pretty famous YouTuber. I was looking up her stuff, you know, and it's unfortunate, you know, a lot of the time you don't hear people till, you know, something bad happens. This happens all the time with musicians and stuff, you know, it's unfortunate. But she had over 2 million YouTube subs, and she was she started something called Save a Fox, a big fox rescue, and I guess a bunch of people on my Facebook with foxes have, you know, utilized her knowledge over the years to work on their foxes. And everything that I've read on her says victim of cyberbullying.
Really?
That's been a crazy topic our entire life.
Yeah.
You know, especially, you know, we really grew up in the dawn of internet.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And
I mean, I didn't even have Facebook in high school.
right, you know, but it was you, especially being a little bit older than me, you know, you were around when computers got real.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, fuck, my grandma had dial-up, and then I got my...
You remember dial-up?
Hell yeah. This has been a topic, you know, since the beginning of the fucking internet, man, and a lot of people laugh and shrug it off, and we've all done that, and we've all been rude on the internet. I mean, I remember the Xbox 360.
Oh,
like,
God.
That was probably the worst of it. Now, there's a lot of people that I was actually just having this kind of a discussion about this a little earlier today, about cyberbullying. Because me and my buddy were kind of talking about safe spaces and whatnot, and yeah, it's super super wicked, and anyway, it's just super unfortunate to see that the animal community, you know, lost another person.
Somebody that was actually trying to do stuff, it sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, the last, you know, the big one I can think of was Brian from the Reptarium, but with him it was cancer. And he was another incredibly viral spokesperson, and, you know, of course for reptiles, but they had some other stuff, Binturong, capybara, and whatever. And then after he died, they finally got his aquarium open, the Legacy. So that was super cool that still happened, with a beautiful name too, you know, Legacy, but spelled C, you know. So yeah, just a sad loss for the animal community. It's unfortunate that I, you know, hadn't seen any of her content or been able to see any of her knowledge, but you know, our condolences to the family and friends and stuff like that. Just sucks when you see that stuff. And I don't say that just because she was part of the animal community, but, you know, suicide is never, you know, fun for any family member or any, you know, anybody that experiences that, for sure. You know, I went through that when I was little with my aunt. I'm a little more, you know, hard shell and put off than a lot of people. Like, my whole family thought I was crazy, probably because I didn't, I guess, show much emotion through that time, which I guess is kind of strange looking at it particularly. But
everybody's different, though.
Absolutely, everybody handles this stuff different. Everybody handles bullying different and all that good stuff. And yeah, there's a big L to the animal community, you know. And again, condolences to the family and friends. And you know, I don't know anything about the operation. I hope it continues on. It seems like it was a pretty big operation. But yeah, that's just kind of really the sadder news that I wanted to talk about, because regardless of knowing people or not, it's just, you know, the animal community is tight knit. And it really does suck when there's loss, and that goes with any community. But I was looking into it a little bit, and I mean, it looks like they've helped quite a few foxes and whatnot, and the YouTube's been around a little while, you know. And
yeah,
now I'm gonna have to backlog a little bit and check out some of the content, because I'm interested. And once again, you know, it really sucks that you don't realize, you know, who's out there until you get the bad news. You know, and I've learned of a lot of musicians that way over my life, which is,
it sucks.
It does, you know.
Or because you're like, oh, this song's a banger, and then you go to find them, and it's like, yeah, either they're they broke up or somebody died and they're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, wow.
Well, guess I came around for the tail end, you know?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it just a wicked life, man. I don't really have much more to say on that. I just kind of wanted to share it real quick because it sucks, you know. And as asshole-ish as I have been, you know, be kind to people. Just be kind. That's today's lesson of.
The problem is nobody gets punched in the mouth anymore.
I know, you know, nobody does, and a lot of the people that are, you know, victims of bullying, some of them, you know, they're how do I say this without sounding like a dick? You know, they don't stand up as much, and we don't have enough people speaking up for certain communities and whatnot. And there's a lot of shit out there that I don't agree with. And I've been a bully. I absolutely have been.
Oh, everybody has,
know, for sure. But what's different with me is, and a lot of people for sure, is regardless of, you know, the things that people do that I disagree with, whether it's, you know, lifestyle choices or politics, I shut the fuck up. You know, like, unless you're threatening me, like, it's cool. Whether I disagree with the way you're being, like, it's none of my business. If you're happy and healthy, you know, if I'm around somebody that I like, I don't know. I'll just make a shitty example. Ashley has purple hair. Say I don't like purple hair. I'm not going to tell her that. You know, just keep going through your life and just keep your fucking thoughts to yourself, man.
Pretty much.
You know, I have a great, a great friend group, and I get to openly discuss a lot in there, you know, and I'll be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And when I say out of pocket shit, people definitely put me in check. You know, it's another reason they're good friends, but I still go on my banters. But regardless of what you like and don't like, just shut the fuck up. You know, it ain't worth people fucking taking their lives over, you know, and, this woman, she probably had a great support system. Who knows? But people fucking battle demons differently, man. So that's the lesson on the podcast today is just fucking, you know, be kind. Just
don't be an asshole.
Be kind. You know, all the time I'll be around somebody doing something that I disagree with. And again, unless it's like threatening or really harming somebody, I just shut the fuck up and walk past, man. Or I order my coffee and get the hell out of there, you know? And this woman just said, I'll meet you there for them kennels. Yeah, I went to pick up these kennels earlier, and the woman didn't meet me there when they said I could be on my way. She just said, I'll meet you there.
Where?
I'm not showing up now. I was already there.
At Pick and Save?
No, you know where the old Nelson's is?
Yeah.
So now it's a storage thing. That I drove all the way over there because she literally said, I'm leaving the place right now. I can be over there. So I was like, I'll head that way. And then she was like, I could also meet you at a later time. And then I was like, no, now's fine. I'll head that way. And she wasn't fucking there. So I left and went to Pick and Save.
Yep.
And came home. Like, why were you emailing me back and forth? Right. I'm not coming back. I don't have time.
No.
I don't have time. You know, showed for me the first time. So I'm going to.
It's like a 20-minute drive already.
Yeah, if there and back for sure, you know.
The way you drive.
Yeah. I miss my car too. Like, I need my car to get the brakes done. Verified call 866-514-3441. Not answering. God damn it. I'm on the podcast. I'm flipping my phone number. I only had it here for topics of discussion for day. And I was really excited.
Now we have more topics. Answer the phone.
No. I was really excited to talk about the tortoise's birthday, though it was short and sweet, because that made me happy.
Yeah.
And now my phone's just pissing me off.
You know, remember that place in Gurney Mills, across the aisle from Rainforest Cafe?
No idea.
It was like a little, wasn't a petting zoo. It was like a little reptile zoo though. They had like an albino gator there and a huge alligator snapper. You don't remember that?
Idea, no.
So when I was growing up, like maybe you probably weren't even born yet. So there.
I mean, I've only been to Gurney probably 4 times in my life anyway.
Yeah, I was there years ago. But you go to Rainforest Cafe and then you get to go play with the critters. Not play with them, see them. And
so it wasn't Rainforest Cafe.
No, it was across from it. But it was like a little petting zoo and they had like little critters you can buy and shit, I think. I keep saying petting zoo. It's a little reptile zoo in the mall, which I thought was weird. But they had a pretty good setup. Like they had like cages you just walked around. It was like ewes. Like you just kept walking in the ewes. And it was a pretty good setup, honestly. But they had this huge alligator snapper there, and I remember telling him, I don't know if it's true, but that the alligator snapper there had a ball from it from like around the Civil War era.
Huh.
I don't know if I believe that, because that's
I don't know if they live that long.
I don't believe so.
Alligator, snapping turtle, lifespan.
So it was from the era. They didn't say it was from.
Though its potential lifespan in the wild is unknown, the alligator snapping turtle is believed to be capable of living 200 years, but 80 to 120 is average.
Okay, so I mean, I don't believe it then. I mean, they maybe had a musket ball in the back of them, but
Civil War was 1861. So
yeah,
what's 200 years from 1861? 1961, and then
yeah. So
it's fucking mad.
It's possible. It could be 2061 or 200 years. So it's possible, I guess. I was thinking Revolutionary War for some reason. I was like, oh, it's been 250 years, man. America.
I mean, when you were a kid, the fucking thing would have been
120 or so. No, like 140.
Something 140, 150. Yeah. I'm thinking something like that.
So that's still pushing it, but possible,
I guess. I mean, fuck. Some of them reptiles live forever, which is goddamn crazy.
Well, and that just tells me it was wild caught too, then, right? Because it was in the wild getting shot by a gun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, rules and regulations should have changed so much over the last couple generations, but back then, I mean, fucking all people did was steal animals out of the wild.
That's how you got it. That's how they're in zoos now.
I mean, Racine Zoo had a fucking wild caught gibbon, a monkey. It recently was put down, but I think it was the longest lived gibbon in captivity, and it was stolen out of the fucking forest.
Huh.
I don't know shit about monkeys. I don't know where gibbons are from, but
no idea.
Yeah, he was jacked, and I'd imagine, all the ZAA and AZA and USD, whoever the fuck, is like, yeah, he was a baby, an orphan, rescued, and blah, blah, blah. God knows. I mean, maybe, but I'm sure a lot of them animals back in the day were just fucking yanked.
Yeah.
Straight up. There's still animals being fucking yanked,
Well, it's the underground pet trade.
For sure. There was red-eye crocodile skinks, 99% of those guys are stolen.
There's a lot of reptiles.
There's a lot of bintrongs that are imported. Sloths, a lot of sloths are imported. If you know what you're doing and importers and shit, you can get animals 10 times cheaper. You just don't know
what you're getting.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know if they're old. You don't know if they're young. I mean, that's kind of a lie. I mean, sometimes they'll yank a baby.
Yeah.
And this is shit I don't really agree with. We need to stop taking shit out of the wild. There's enough breeding in the United States.
Yeah.
That we can just keep our animals here. Like, I own a zoo, whatever, and I totally believe that wild animals should be in the wild. But the animals we have, they're not wild. They're captive raised. There's a big difference. The thing in the mall makes me think about that person that reached out to me on TikTok, because I have capybaras, and the profile was Stop Quest. I guess Quest is a chain of aquariums or something. And
oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Malls.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, you have animals, maybe you could, sign this petition or tell people about this or whatever, and blah, 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 blah. And then the same account saw me walking camels and was like, oh, you have captive animals. You're a bad person. I was like, how do you think I have capybara?
They're captive animals?
Oh, what the fuck? Like, and not only are you're biting the fucking, hand that feeds, you're asking me for help.
Yeah.
But then you're bantering about me
having.
I have captive animals.
They have captive fish.
Right. Like, well, like the Sequest, they had stuff like cappies and stuff too.
That's captive though.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just
So they don't want Quest. Apparently Quest is a bad chain.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So they were like, hey, could you be a voice? And then, but when they saw my other animals, they were like, fuck you, you're a terrible person.
Yeah, you are pretty horrible.
Apparently, which makes no goddamn sense. People are ridiculous. So I just think I ended up blocking their account or whatever.
That's for the best.
Yeah, I get rid of them people all the time. And I was on live the other day when I was feeding the skunks, and this lady was like, wild animals need to be wild or whatever. And I don't know if this was the skunks, but this lady's like, wild animals need to be wild. And somebody came up in the comments and was like, they're not wild. They're not. It's in captivity. Like, people don't understand the difference. And these, again, this kind of falls in the same conversation. These animals ain't being yanked out of the fucking wild.
No.
I don't import shit. They're all born here. Even like the porcupines, they were born in captivity. Were their ancestors yanked out of the wild? Yeah. Unfortunate. Guess who wasn't alive? Neither me nor you or us combined.
Well, that's why there's zoos.
Now, the only thing that really gets yanked is fucking rehab animals around here, and
there's so many.
So many. We got the 3 raccoons. Actually, Haley texted me last night. I was sleeping, but one of them passed away. And she's, sad about it, and I feel bad for her.
It's rough.
Put all the time in it, but she's like, I don't know, maybe one of them could have aspirated, but she didn't really see any signs of it. And let's be honest, they fell out of a tree.
Yeah,
they could have had traumatic damage.
Yep.
They could have some worms left over even after the deworming. They could have had some type of illness. You don't know, and I when you're doing rehab work, I don't really coax that up to anybody, like, I don't think that's anybody's fault.
No.
You do have to have the correct amount of time for the animals, and I think I've definitely screwed up some raccoons not having the amount of time, and I'm super honest with myself about that, and for that reason, I don't really take in rescues outside of the fact that I'm a germaphobe running a zoo and I shouldn't have the shit here.
Yeah.
But every blue moon, we'll try to help something. But god damn, it is baby season, man. Outside of those couple raccoons, I've gotten like 3 raccoon phone calls, a couple emails.
Coyotes.
Baby coyote. I got 2 emails about baby deer so far. And the last one, she was like, blah, 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 blah. Do you want a baby deer? It's super sweet. And the lady sent me a video of it. It had a fucking collar on.
What?
In her house.
What?
And my first thought is, put it the fuck back. But now it's too late.
Yep.
It's going to die if you put it the fuck back.
Yep.
And the lady never emailed me back. She probably thinks I'm rude, but I was just honest with her. I was like, hey, most municipalities, you can't take deer under.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
And I didn't stray this part. But unless you're a rehabber, an average citizen is only allowed legally 24 hours here to hang on to a wild animal. You have 24 hours to get it somewhere.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm trying to get my rehab license so it doesn't get euthanized. Rehab license can take years.
Take a bit.
Years to get.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, sometimes you even have to get a mentor.
Oh, I believe that.
It can take a very long time. And
it's not easy. I don't know. I think people think it's easy.
It's not.
No.
And I told her, again, the municipality thing, you don't even know if your area allows you to rehab deer, because a lot of places don't do this.
They don't want you touching the deer. Stop touching deer. I almost did it the other day. Stop doing it.
Stop touching deer. And I'm a huge advocate of conservation starts in your backyard.
Sure.
I love helping animals, but there's some things that you just shouldn't do. And before you just go up and take some shit, mom could be down the road. I'm big on, unless you see a dead mom, leave it.
Or if the animal's there for at least 3 days, didn't move, maybe I fuck with it.
I'd say a bit quicker than that, because babies will die quick if they don't have enough colostrum.
Day or two.
But if you don't see a dead mom, fucking leave it. She might be off foraging.
Yeah.
She might be down the road a little bit. Most of these animals leave their babies and come back.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking leave it. And as far as things go, like raccoons and stuff, people rehab them all the time. And awesome, good. If you have the time, that's great. But if something bad happens, don't feel bad. We are not on a low count of raccoons.
No.
And
or coyotes.
To whoever is listening this, we're a zoo. We're not a rehab. We can't legally take shit in. We can't. Sometimes do I bring something into my house and try and help it? Yeah. Does the USDA like that? No. If I had a baby deer, a fawn on my property and the USDA showed up, I would lose every animal that I have.
Yeah.
They would take everything from me. It's not a fucking game. And I don't play around with people that try and bring me shit here. We had that lady 2 years ago or whatever that pulled in the driveway doing 30 miles an hour screaming bloody murder. And I ran over there, thought she needed some serious help. Like she was having a heart attack in her car or some shit. And she stuck a fucking shopping bag out the window and opened it, and it was full of baby ducks. Like,
okay, why do you have a bunch of baby ducks in a bag?
Where is mom? I just didn't see her. Put it the fuck back.
Now.
You think I can just take in 15 fucking ducklings? There was another woman last year or 2 years ago or whatever.
I never heard about that.
Dude. And
in a plastic bag, no less.
In a reusable shopping bag, like one of them Aldi bags you buy.
Okay, so it's at least a reusable.
Yeah, not like a shitty.
I'm glad we got that straight because that makes it all the much better.
Yeah, at least they weren't gonna suffocate.
My God, dude! Like
I had recognized this woman too. She was a client of at the clinic, and super foreign accent. Like it's hard to understand her. She sounds like she's eating peanut butter. And I just I can't take them. I'm not ducks are the most disgusting creature on the planet.
Horrible.
I'm not putting them in my house. And if I put them outside here and I don't have paperwork for them, the USDA is going to wring my ass. Yep. And USDA isn't exactly accounted for ducks because they're native, but they're on exhibition here. They're on display.
Yeah.
So they are accounted for them. That's the loophole for the USDA.
Yep.
And not that I really get inspected by the DNR, but they would also bring my ass out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm not a fucking rehab.
Lose everything.
I could lose everything for having an animal here that is not supposed to be here because you don't know what kind of illness and sickness we are bringing in.
Yeah.
But deer is so heavily regulated due to CWD. And
which it should be, I think, because it's kind of bad.
It definitely exists. I don't know how long deer can live with it, but I know it's pretty much deadly. It's a neurological thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long they can live with it. I don't know if like a deer can become an adult with it. Or do they die before that? I don't know anything about
every deer hunter I've ever talked to or know, which I know quite a few growing up here. Not one of them, because they all send their heads in or whatever. Not one of them ever came up positive.
I don't know how you test for it. I know rabies is in the head. Is CWD head? No, it is head. Because
it's brain, right?
Yeah. Because Steve had told me, the guy at the deer park, he said once a deer, I believe, is above the age of 1, everyone that dies on his property, the head has to get sent in.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of deer laws. There are so many deer laws.
Michigan's crazy, right?
Is it?
That's what I thought.
I don't know. But I mean, Michigan, I wouldn't be surprised if they're kind of like the same as us or something. Because I mean, Wisconsin, we are Michigan. Like, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of deer laws. Do not bring me a fucking deer.
I almost did the one day just to see your some shit.
I'm going to tell you to put it the fuck back. There's nothing I can do. Most rehabs won't touch them.
But he was laying down on the side of the road.
Get it. I truly do. And it is not one of them situations where it's better to ask for forgiveness later.
No.
It's fucking not. It's not worth it,
Well, and like I didn't see the mom around. I'm like, it's in a neighborhood. Down the road here, I'm like,
now someone else is calling me.
You're a popular man,
dude.
man.
Apparently, you
want to get rich. This is what happens.
It's probably I don't think anyone from that organization with the lady with the crates has my phone number. So I don't know.
Well, they found it.
Maybe, I don't know.
It ain't that hard to find.
Yeah. Call the ranch phone, which it's outside. I haven't looked at in a couple days.
You should probably check that.
I'm busy. I don't have time to be the office and the outside, and that's the problem. But moral of the story is quit emailing me with animals. I can't take any more.
No, you're done.
I fucking can't, man. And the one lady, Facebook messaged me and said, hey, I got a raccoon. And I was like, I can't take it. Call fellow mortals. And she messaged me back and said, apparently they don't take raccoons. And I was like, well, what the fuck are they good for? Like,
What it's a coon.
I've never worked with fellow mortals. I recommend people them because I've had people that have good luck with them. But what I really hear is they almost never call people back.
Oh.
I can't confirm or deny that, but I've heard it a lot.
I forget who we used in Twin Lakes because they came and picked up 2 turtles I got ran over.
Oof.
Dude, so I'm coming home from work the one day, going to Twin Lakes, and I see this big painted turtle his back legs were gone. I'm like, uh-oh. So I get out, and, like, he can still move them. Like, they're little nubs, but I'm like, they're pretty toast.
Sure.
And I was picking them up, and there's a car like, hey, I lost my pet. I'm like,
oh no.
I was like, do you really want this turtle? I was like, I got ran over. He's like, oh no, you can keep it. Like,
that's fucked.
This dude just wanted to take a turtle out of the wild because it'd seen it crossing the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, off yourself.
That is fucked up.
So I got home, filled the tub up. He was pretty bloody, and I forget who came and picked him up. But yeah, they came and picked him up, rehabbed him. They emailed us his journey. Took like 6 or 8 months.
He lived, huh?
He lived. That one lived. The second one did not. His half his shell was pretty much toast. So
that's no bueno.
No, it was pretty sad. Oh, my dad's got turtle eggs in his yard.
Really?
Yeah, he put a fence around. Hey, so he doesn't run. Not a fence, but like something so he doesn't run over it.
Right.
But yeah. And he's got an alarm set in his phone twice a day, I think, or something like that, to check it.
I'm looking for Lakeland Animal Shelter, Animal Rehab, Charlie Project Dog. That's a dog rescue and dog shelters in Twin. I'm just getting dog shelters in Twin Lakes.
Oh yeah, I don't even know. I think there might have been from Silver Lake or something. It's really weird out there.
In Wisconsin, you must be licensed to conduct wildlife rehabilitation. It is defined as providing care or treatment to an orphaned, sick, or injured wild animal for the purpose of releasing it back into the wild. Under state law, no person may rehabilitate any wild animal except as authorized under a rehabilitation license. You can help reserve space for wild animals truly in need by always calling a licensed wildlife rehabilitator before assuming a wild animal needs help. In some cases, wildlife rehabilitators may temporarily modify how they can assist injured, orphaned, or sick wildlife to protect human and wildlife health and safety. Most wild animals are protected under state and federal laws and cannot be taken from the wild or possessed by unauthorized citizens. Raising a wild animal as a pet is not only against laws and regulations, but it is not the right thing to do for the animal. Wisconsin captive wildlife regulations allow a citizen to possess a wild animal for up to 24 hours to transfer the animal to an appropriately licensed individual, such as a licensed wildlife rehabilitator or veterinarian. Even though wild animals are cute, they should not be viewed as pets. Note: due to concerns about highly pathogenic avian influenza, licensed wildlife rehabilitators may have limits or restrictions on admissions for some species. And then it has...
so stop touching wild animals.
Right here at the bottom of it, the Wildlife Rehab Directory, it shows below how to verify species and other detailed information for the wildlife rehabbers located in the county. Wildlife rehabbers. Okay, so there's a list of counties in Wisconsin, and it tells you species that you can and cannot rehab.
With a license, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Racine County's not on here. Yeah, I don't know what to say about Racine County. I need to make sure. The blue counties on the map represent locations of licensed wildlife rehabilitators. Okay, so that means we don't have any licensed rehabbers in Racine. That's why. Where's Bristol?
Kenosha.
Is that Kenosha?
I believe so. Oh, Bristol Rose. Yeah, it's Kenosha because it's right before
Because Kenosha.
Illinois.
Kenosha's not on the list either.
That's odd.
USDA animal rehab. We need a computer guy.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Daniel. He was like, I could be that guy.
Yeah?
He brought the idea up himself. It'd kind of be fun.
It would be awesome to have Daniel on here.
Yeah, come on, Daniel. Gotta open this in Chrome so I don't leave my thing. Okay, so because we know Bristol rehabs. So Bristol, veterinary service. Salem Lakes, Wisconsin. What fucking county is this?
Gotta be Kenosha. Salem's Kenosha.
Salem.
Or did you say Salem?
Salem, Wisconsin. It's a village. Salem Lakes. Yeah, it is Kenosha.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say not. Maybe she's just not listed. She might have a newer license. Whatever. So, as the list goes, like it says, okay, Barron County, fox, mink, possum, raptor, and weasel. Brown County, you can rehab all species except bear. Columbia, you can just rehab raccoon. Crawford, you can rehab raptors. Lacrosse, long leg waiter. I don't know what the fuck that is.
No idea.
Non-passerin, opossums, waterbirds, songbirds, raptors, not licensed for eagles, rodents, rabbits, seabirds. All right, so there you go, guys. Like, the Wisconsin DNR website's got it all clear here, and it just bluntly says, if you're not a rehabber, don't do it. And I'm not saying don't do it. I don't care. Good for you. Help it. Like, again, conservation starts in your own backyard, and it doesn't take a rocket science to bottle feed a raccoon or a possum or something. And possums are incredibly awesome animals. The moral of my fucking story here is I can't take it.
No.
I can't fucking take it. No zoos can take it. And if they say yes, they're just being ballsy, you know?
Yeah.
And we did that stuff with Jodan from time to time. We had possums here, and we weren't rehabbers. I don't know how we got away with it, but I'm not fucking with it. I'm not playing with fire. My license is in good standing.
Yeah.
And if I'm not purchasing something captive, it's got to come from a rehabber.
Yeah.
That's the way this law runs. I'm not threatening my business with people bringing me animals, especially fucking deer.
Well, something you see around here like daily.
Right.
Like, I don't want to see that in a zoo. I don't want to see a whitetail in a zoo.
Right. And, we had two of the dumbest things possibly at a zoo. Well, one I should say. We had the pelican that had a wing injury.
Oh, yeah.
Which was fucking cool, actually. And, we would throw them fish. And it was kind of scary because they smack them big lips together. And they got, the beak tooth on the top. It's like a fucking fish hook, dude.
Yeah.
If that thing would have hooked you, it would gut your arm right open.
I know that was that sharp.
But, dude. And we just throw him the fish and he'd catch them. But then, like, a week or two after we get the seagull, or vice versa, the pelican, we got the seagull that had an amputation.
Oh, Jesus.
And I remember getting a call on this, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. Whatever, why not? It's funny. And Bob was like, what the fuck, a seagull? Blah, 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 blah. And I think Sylvia actually did the amputation on it, if I recall.
Oh, geez.
Both of those guys passed away relatively shortly. I don't know what the lifespan of a seagull is or a pelican. And to be quite frank with you guys, this probably wasn't the facility for neither of those animals. I came in and I found the pelican had passed away a while after we had it. And as far as the seagull goes, I have no remembrance of what happened to that bird. But his name was Stan, so he couldn't fly. But it was kind of neat. We built him a little beach and he was hanging out or whatever. But it was two random animals to see, especially at a smaller zoo like this. Super funky. But yeah, that
I've
was.
never seen that pelican. He was pretty big.
He was a badass bird, man, and throwing him fish was fun.
Yeah.
It was super fun, and you don't realize how big their mouth is until you see it up close.
Huge.
But yeah, they got beak tooth. Beak tooth is it's like how emus or ostrich and stuff, you know, they crack open their eggs. They got the sharp beak tooth.
Yeah.
'Cause them eggs, like ostrich eggs, they come out super strong, you know, or like the ostrich eggs support the weight of an adult ostrich on them. So that's how they crack them open, is with that super sharp tooth on their beak. But it's one of, you know, nature's more fascinating adaptations. Like, it knew the animal needed something to, you know, work its way through here. It's like the when the baby kangaroos are born, climbing into the mom's pouch when they're barely an inch long.
Still blows my mind they do that.
It's insane, man. I saw another video of one this morning being born. But it's really fucking cool, man. Up until I started seeing these videos, I was under the impression that we didn't know how the fuck the babies got in the mom's pouch.
Yeah.
You know, so shout out the age of technology. We're getting stuff on video, you know. But the video I saw this morning, it was the entire birth.
Oh, really?
And, you know, the babies come out, you know, an inch big or whatever the hell. So, like, it wasn't even like a birth. It was like, boop.
Yeah.
Pop. It just comes right
out like a pimple.
You know? Hey, yeah. What a goddamn life, and what a time it is. It's over 4:30. It's 4:50. We're going on 5 o'clock now, and we're gonna end this one a little short today, guys. My skunks are probably screaming at me. They have to eat every 4 hours. So we are going to go do that. I'm gonna go suffer through it, and it's not suffering, man. Like, baby animals are cool.
You're gonna cherish these days.
I know, but it's, man, being a parent is hard. And, you know, just to put on the note too, and I've talked about this with camels a little bit, I tend to get angry with the camels, you know, and controlling my anger is one thing. But you have to be so patient with these babies, and sometimes they don't want to eat, and they're flipping the nipple out of their mouth, and it's a pain in the ass.
And you can't just
you got to be so gentle and careful with them. And I'm getting pissed off, but I'm making myself be relaxed, so everything goes calm and
woosah.
You have woosan, you know. And what I'm getting at with this is, I can get angry with animals, and I love animals more than anything. There's no fucking way I could have a human child. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
I feel you.
There's no way I could fucking do it. Without further ado, guys, I'm gonna go feed some animals and myself. I am fucking hungry. I need at least a snack. My crock pot meal probably won't be done for another 2 hours at the bare minimum.
At least, yeah.
So Fluffy, take it away.
Happy hump day, everybody.
You wanna try again?
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody.